And we're live. Greetings, friends. Happy Friday. We made it to the weekend. On Fridays, we free roam. J-Lash with a thumbs up. Thumbs up to you, friend. I appreciate you. Seeker says, hey there. Have a nice stream. Greetings, Seeker. Welcome. Glynis, channel member Glynis Coleman says hello. Hello to you, Glynis. David is here. Greetings, David. Appreciate you, friend. Thanks for being here early. As always, I should say that. David, how are you? How are things? And what's for dinner? Serena is also here early. Hi, Serena. I need to talk to you about your video, your short. But we'll talk later. Greetings, Serena. Everybody say hello to Serena. Serena says hi to Glynis. Callum is here. Greetings, friend. Shout out to Ireland. Callum says, hey guys, sorry I haven't been here for a while. Been flat out working in the new job. Missed you all a lot. I'll be around more during halfway through the week as I work Monday to Wednesday. Well done, Callum. I'm glad you have a job. Jobs are good. Jobs are, they build character. And also you get money. David says, there he is. And Callum says, good to see you, Antonio. Callum, it's good to see you. Serena says, there's Sadie. Hi, beautiful girl. Say hi to Sadie and Glynis and J-Lash. Callum is from Ireland. You like Ireland? She doesn't know what Ireland is. Sorry. Serena says, okay, Antonio, I did email you about it. Yeah, did you upload the video? Is it on your channel? Because I was looking for it on your channel, and I didn't see it. Chrissy V says, hello, Serena. Greetings to you, Chrissy. Thanks for being here. Happy Friday. On Fridays, we free roam. And O-Dog is also here. Greetings, O-Dog. Thank you for being here, friend. Appreciate you. Shout out to O-Dog. Hope you're feeling better. I sent you a picture on Twitter. I was thinking of you. And you responded to it, so I know you saw it. Callum says, had a tough week last week, getting paid good next week for the days I did this week. I got a cheeky bit of the wacky tobacco. Well, it's very cheeky indeed, Callum. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So I just wanted to mention that I watched the debates. Did you watch the debates? And I don't want to get political in this channel. I don't care who you vote for, who you like, who you hate. I don't care who you love or what you do in the bedroom, because it's none of my business. Anyways, I just wanted to point out that I watched the debates on YouTube, on Tim Pool's channel, and he got 130,000 viewers in his chat. 130 grand. We've got 10 in ours. But my point is he was getting more views than CNN. What's that about? And even with 10 viewers in the chat, I am so happy and proud to be part of this platform and in the future of media. Like when when like YouTubers are pulling in more views than traditional media, out of their bedrooms while Tim Pool has a studio. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just, it's a revolution, which is far more exciting to me than AI, where, the audiences have fractured and opened up, and, it's not in the hands of the big corporations. You can find an audience. You can get more subs, like Serena did. Yeah, you guys can talk about the election as much as you want. I'm not going to talk about the election, on the channel. I don't want this channel to be about politics, or I don't want this channel to be divisive. I want everyone to come here and pretend it's 1899 and just have fun and play with the horses and shoot O'Driscolls. That being said, I am a little more political on Twitter. on X-Twitter, as I like to call it. So you can find me there at Red Super Antonio. I had the choice of at Red Super Antonio or at Red Dead Super Antonio, but I didn't like the idea of Dead Super Antonio. I just, it's my mom had just died. I just didn't like it at the time. So I went with Red Super Antonio, which makes me sound like a commie. What's that about? At any rate, you can follow me on Twitter. If I get to 500 subs on Twitter, we can monetize. So it's a really easy way, again, to support the channel at no additional cost to you. Plus, you get to see me. I mostly post memes, but I'll respond to you, and I'll tag you in pictures that I think are interesting. Like I did O-Dog. O-Dog was happy. David says, no religion, no politics. Yes, indeed, David. And no, well, let's just be, let's have the naughty stuff to a minimum. It's a family channel. Glynis says, I followed you the other day. Thank you, Glynis. I appreciate you. I hope you're enjoying the, I did notice that, you liked something that I did, and I didn't know if you were a follower from before, but I'm glad you're a new follower. Thank you. Odog says, Super Antonio, you're promoting violence. Change this to a Chelonian network. Yes, I know what you mean. Odog. Can't help it. But thanks for the follow, Glynis. I appreciate it. Where are we? Sadie's in her crate. We had a little bit of a disturbing morning, which I will tell you all about. So, we went out on our morning walk, which I really enjoyed. What she really enjoyed, but it's like, it's 8 in the morning. It's just a nice, wonderful day. The day is starting. I've been up since 6 because the market opens. And I have to watch the market. What's that about? So, I'm like happy, I'm all coffeeed up, and she's happy. She's out exploring the world. And we see this gentleman walking towards us. And he didn't look sus to me. He just looked like a hippie. But when he gets closer, he's like twitching, and he's muttering to himself. And he's saying, S my Emmer effin' D, at the top of his voice, at the top of his lungs, at 8 in the morning. And regrettably, he was not censoring himself as I am, and he's just like chanting it, S my Emmer effin' D, shouting to the clouds, and I'm not necessarily worried because he seemed harmless to me, and I don't think he even noticed us. But Sadie, bless her 50-pound heart, instantly goes into like guard dog protection mode, and she, I like her walking by my side, and she's straining to get in front of me and the threat, and I'm like pulling her back and holding her by my side, and I look down and her ears are back, and her tail is down and her shoulders are up. She's basically in attack mode. And so we walk by, and he's like, and he's like twitching his hand like that. I'm effing D, and he didn't even see us. He just walked right by. And as he walked up to us, Sadie growled, but it was like such a low, primeval growl. It was like I didn't even hear it as much as feel it. I felt it in my bones. It was like, but way lower, like in the very low registers. And it felt primordial. It felt like, like going all the way back to the wolves and cavemen. It was an odd moment. But, as soon as he passed and the threat was over, she turned back into a dog and just started like, continued with their routine tree inspections and completely forgot about it. And he just like went on his merry way, chanting his chant. It was an odd experience that I wanted to share. Callum says, haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2 in a while. I switched back over to Xbox recently. Missed playing with friends. Serena says, Antonio and friends, I can't seem to get the last chapter on Mafia 2. It won't spawn. Don't know why. Other players have same problems. Game might be glitched. Are you playing an online version of it? Like from PS Now? I bet it's glitched. And Serena says, I probably played GTA Online today to see if the bounties, see if I have enough to buy. Hopefully upload. Glynis says, she was protecting her dad. Yes, she was. I was very proud of her. But, you know, as we walked away, I told her, you know, you don't have to worry about me. I will protect you. That's my job. Your job is to be a dog, even though that's part of being a dog. So all you have to do is co-host the chat, even though she's not even here. And try not to smell so much poop. A lot of routine poop inspections. What's that about? Very undignified. Anyways, 10 viewers in the chat. Welcome. We're just kind of hanging out with the liver chestnut Hungarian half-bred. Odog says, be careful out there. Yeah, I mean, at 8 o'clock in the morning, why, you know, it's like, you just don't expect that kind of malarkey. David says, let's all welcome Chrissy V74 to the group. Oh my, David, I had no idea that was your lovely wife. Shout out to Chrissy V. What was I going to say? David's better half. You know what, Chrissy V? I never do this. Except I do. Where are you? Let's make you a mod. There, let's give you a wrench. Have a wrench. Okay? It's only fair. So, David can tell you what being a mod means, but I'm happy to have you here. It just seemed, to me, it seemed like if we're going to let Papa 1 and Mama 1 both be mods at the same time, it only seems fair to add that to you as well. Chrissy V74, I had no idea. Wow. Chrissy, if you have a chance, I would appreciate if you subscribe to the second channel. You don't have to watch it, but I would appreciate a sub on that channel. Thank you. Yeah, basically you just get to control all the unruly bastards in the chat. We don't really have problems these days as now that I made it subscriber only. But you know, no politics. You know, keep the spam to a minimum. You know, I allow a little bit if you want to promote your channel. You know, just but if you're coming to the chat just to promote your channel, that gets a little tiresome for me. And then sometimes you get like attention seekers that are weird, that are going to like make up drama that they want to share with the chat just so everyone will be like, oh, I'm sorry. You know, it's like, so if you're like, what do you call that? Monopolizing the chat. That kind of bugs me. Chrissy says, no problem, I got you. I really appreciate you being here. Have you seen Sadie, Chrissy? Let's call Sadie back. I thought your name was Christine. There. Say hi to Chrissy. That's David's lovely wife. What was it against? David, did you say what was for dinner? Because I forgot. If you did. I had a cheese sandwich with salmon. with smoked salmon and a Pop-Tart. Some more leftovers. So right now what we're trying to do is to get that Grizzly to spawn into a 3-star. So you save and upload, reload, or you just leave the area and return. This is a very stable location for the Grizzly. David says, no dinner yet. Glenn says, we had Arby's. I'd eat Arby's, but there's not one like conveniently close. David says, not feeling good tonight, real tired. Well, you take it easy, friend. Order in. Order pizza. Have a pizza salad. I hadn't really figured out next week, or this Sunday, Sinister Sunday. I was thinking about doing the Donner Party. But if you're here, and in honor of Chrissy being a new mod, maybe we'll just move, or how about Missing 411? Does any, tell me in the chat if you know what Missing 411 is about. Do you prefer Christina or Chrissy? Chrissy V74. Odok had boneless wings, spinach and artichoke dip, chicken quesadilla and mozzarella sticks from Applebee's. I like the variety, Odog. I don't have enough of variety. I just eat like one thing, and some sort of dessert. Salem. I did want to do a Salem witch trials. I'm looking at the Wikipedia to see what's going on here. See, what's that about? It's ridiculously long. This would be like a 2-hour stream. Spectral evidence. But not all of the evidence used against the accused was spectral evidence. Spectral evidence is a form of legal evidence based on the testimony of those who claim to have experienced visions. Well, okay, yeah. That seems a little suspect. Kangaroo court, if you know what I mean. Odog says it was a sampler platter. Yeah, I like variety. I don't get enough variety. I mean, I'll just eat one thing. Serena says, that's no good, David. Get some rest soon. Glenn says, I got a 3-star Grizzly in Big Valley with the rolling block today. I never used the rolling block. I should. But I like being able to toggle back and forth. I don't like being committed to that small range of field. And another 1-star. Serena says, Christina is a beautiful name. And Chrissy says, thank you, and so is Serena. There. I'm so happy you're here, Christina. The more the merrier. 14 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. What do you think of David's obsession with this game? Do you tolerate it? Do you play any video games yourself? Is this just another one of his quirks that... Chrissy says, I have to go to work now. Ta-ta for now. Thank you, Chrissy. I appreciate you being here. And welcome to the chat. Chrissy says, have a great night. You have a great night as well. I had some thoughts about Mama One. She wasn't in the Wednesday chat, Wednesday stream. So if any of you like talk to her outside of the chat, tell her I had some thoughts. But anyways, I'll tell you. Essentially, she said that her dream was to have a cooking channel. So if that's her dream, that's what I'm going to tell her. just skip the live stream of the chicken coop and just start making cooking videos. You know? Miko's here. Miko says, hello, Super Antonio and Sadie. Hello, mods. Howdy, folks. Greetings, Miko. Appreciate you being here. Happy Friday. Glenna says bye to Chrissy. David says she's going to check on a few of her stores. Serena says, nice chatting, Christina. Talk soon. Good night and take care. You know, Chrissy, the name, reminds me of a band I used to like, the Pretenders. They're from the 80s punk rock band. And the lead singer was named Chrissy Hind. That's the only Chrissy I know that I can think of right now. And David says, hi, Miko, snake emoticon. And Odog says, sup, Miko. Arthur will take a moment to post with the thumbnail of the Instagram. These days we are promoting the Twitter, the X-Twitter, the Zwitter, if you will, which is at Red Super Antonio. You can follow me there. I post a lot of memes. That's pretty much all I do. I don't even really promote the channel. I should. I mean, I tried, but you know, it just doesn't work. And so I was like, oh, let's just promote memes and have fun.
Okay, my girl. There we go.
Serena says, David, I'm scared to play the games you sent, LOL. Well, you got to load up at least AC Valhalla just to see if it'll even play. I want to make sure they're not region locked, you know? So just load them up. Yeah, and David says, play Valhalla. Yes, you have to. And there's no reason to be scared. I promise you, it's going to be your new favorite game once you figure it out. It's not as good as The Witcher, but it comes close. And you'll have fun. It has really good music. You get to climb pretty much anything you want. Combat mechanics are, you know, tip top. Yeah, Serena, it'll be great for your channel, I promise you. And no worries, that bear is only sleeping. Is everyone enjoying the Panther Trail saddle? I hardly ever use that these days, but it's very popular. And the bear was watching this O'Driscoll camp. Serena says, did you see I got more subs, Antonio? I was happy I did not. Let's take a look. Where are you? 500 subs. Well done, Serena. If you're on Twitter, you could monetize your channel. And David says Skyrim isn't scary, and Serena says, isn't there flying monsters in Skyrim? You know who could tell you about that is Doc Skullhammer. I believe he played a lot of Skyrim, as I recall. Dragons, David says. Yeah, you like dragons. What's not to like? So I moved Boadicea out of harm's way because we're going to try to snipe that camp, and they will shoot back, and they can get you from that distance. And basically, I just don't want to damage the 3-star Grizzly pelt. And Glynis, this would have been an excellent opportunity to whip out the rolling block, because we have a little bit of trouble at this distance, even though we have explosive rounds. Serena claims to be scared, and David is shrugging his shoulders. Sorry you feel bad, David. Hope you feel better soon. David says, Uncharted and the other Assassin's Creed. Did you try any of the American treats, Serena? Had you had any of those before? The Hostess? What did you think? And if you keep bugging these guys, they will come down the cliff and try to cross the river to get to you. So I'm trying to lure them out of there. Hirandro is here. Hirandro says, the only Valhallas I know about are God of War Valhalla and the Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Never played any of them. Well, Hirandro, we're trying to make Serena play Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Serena says, yes, I don't want to play these scary Uncharted with these scary people in the tunnel. Yeah, but confronting your fears, then you won't be afraid. That's how you have to exercise that muscle. But, honestly, I used to be like super afraid of cougars and panthers, the Giaguaro panther especially. The wolves, this grizzly bear. When I first started playing this game, it seemed like every time you left camp, there was something trying to kill you. Serena says, they were yummy treats. No, I haven't had those treats. And Serena says, hi to Hirandro. And Serena continues, I get scared playing Red Dead sometimes. I'm used to it now. Yeah, I'm very used to this game. I'm not afraid of anything, I don't think. I'm still afraid of losing a horse. Don't want to do that. And Hirandro says, Nathan Drake is basically the modernized version of Indiana Jones. Oh, I've been watching Schitt's Creek again, which I've seen before, but it's like I haven't seen it in a long time, and it's completely new. And I have thoughts. On the costuming. Well, it's like Moira dresses ridiculously, but but I think they use the same stylist for Moira's outfits and for David's outfits, because they all, they seem to match with like the black and white, weird collars, weird shoulders, weird patterns, weird cuff things, I like how David's suits are, they're very modern, they're very well tailored. They're always correct, and he's always wearing a suit. I love that. But it's interesting to me that, Alexis, just dresses like a supermodel, except every now and then she'll wear something like just crazy and weird. Usually when she's like working out, that just, just a tiny little bit of that Moira David style comes out in like her running gear, which is really funny. And then I like how that actress, like, she'll hold her hands like this all the time. This is like part of her character is how she like holds, like, she like holds her wrists. You know, it's like, and she'll gesture like this. It's like, David, David. And then, of course, I love Stevie. You know, just, that's, I've always been attracted to that kind of girl. Anyways, no, I'm loving it though. It's on Amazon Prime. If you haven't seen it, it's really fun. It's a really funny series. It's set in Canada. Papa One says, "Hey guys, everybody say hi to Papa One. Papa One, I need to speak to your lovely wife." Mama One is here. Greetings, Mama One. Everyone say hi to Mama One. Mama One, 2 questions. 1, what's for dinner? And 2, I had thoughts. Now let me think. How do I compose it? Okay, you said that your dream is to have a cooking channel on YouTube. So forget everything I said about live streaming the chicken coops and just start making cooking videos. And don't worry about them being bad. Your like first 10 viewers or videos are going to be bad. That's just how it is. I mean, you can watch my first videos. They're horrible. Here we are in Red Dead Redemption 2. And this is where you can find at Moonstone Pond, your silver dapple, you know. Yeah, my first 100 videos are horrible. But you know, it's like, that's just how every channel is. And it's part of the growth. So just start making cooking videos. And also, you know, that will get you your 500 subs. 1. And at 500 subs, you can start live streaming your chicken coops. So forget everything I said and just start making cooking videos. What I want you to do is watch the cooking channels that you like, and make videos like that. You know, just their recipes, you know, like find out what the most popular recipes is. Same with the thumbnails, you know, just copy their thumbnails and their titles as best you can. Don't even try to be original. I mean, be original in terms of you're original and your recipes are original. But just, you know, you're from the South, I believe. And I do, you know, so you've got like this built-in niche. Everybody loves the South, especially Southern cooking. And I think you should call your channel Mama One, or like Mama One's Kitchen or something like that, because Mama One works really well. And Mama One says, I would love to start doing that. That way people can learn how to home cook proper country meals. Yes. Okay. There. See, you've already thought about it. You can do it. I know you can do it. David says, cooking with Claudia and views on the road are the ones I watch. I don't know if I watch any like cooking channels. I mean, sometimes, I don't sub to any, but I come across them, you know, just like the algorithm will suggest them. And sometimes I watch.
Let's go, girl. Yep.
But yeah, you absolutely should do that. That would be great. But yeah, start, you know, it's like everyone has a phone on their camera. I mean, a camera on their phone, forgive me. And you probably need lights. I don't know how the lights are in your kitchen, but you know, it'd be fun. It'd be an exciting little project for you. If you have the time. Papa One says, hey David, hope you are well. And Serena says, Mama, I would definitely watch your videos and any videos you upload. Yeah, see? So you have like 3 to 5 subs right now.
How y'all doing?
And you'll get more. I guarantee it. Especially if you're consistent, 1 video a week. Glynis says, I watch Catherine's Plates, and I think it's called Hillbillies Cooking. I make a lot of their recipes. Glynis says, I would watch as well. Yes, see? And Mama One says, by the way, dinner tonight was raccoon stew. Wow. We have been having raccoon. Try to get it in our raccoon. Try to get in our coops. Papa One finally shot him. I also made cornbread, collard greens, and pinto beans. Okay. What does raccoon taste like? What's that about? That I can honestly say I've never had raccoon. And they're so cute. I know it's nature. Glynis says, sounds good. And Odog says, hi, MP1. Mama and Papa One. Yeah, so so forget everything I said about live streaming the chicken coops basically and just start making cooking videos. I mean, you're cooking anyways every day. You might as well just film it. Serena says, I haven't eaten any game meat. I had rabbit once. Yeah, I had rabbit, and I've had rabbit and pheasant and duck.
Quality hide makes the hardiest clothes around. Don't doubt it. You can start using it now, or I can have it sent to the nearest station.
And I've had bear. It's very greasy. What else? I think that's the only game meat I've had. Serena says, I'm a fussy eater. You know, I might be one myself too. I don't like spicy food. And I eat basically the same things every day. I just kind of rotate around. But I think I would call myself a lazy eater rather than fussy. Look at those beautiful mountains. Mama One says, thank you, Serena. I'm going to do a cooking video. Raccoon tastes similar to more rich beef. Interesting. In my opinion, raccoons are sweet until they kill your chickens or eat your eggs. But nothing goes to waste here. Glenn says, gator and turtle are good. So is snake and venison. I had rattlesnake. I didn't enjoy it. And it was like deep fried and breaded and everything. Did not taste like chicken. Yeah, I know it's nature, and they're, you know, if they're a threat to your chickens, to your livelihood. Miko says, "Wow, raccoon! Some of the locals here eat monitor lizards, fruit bats, and some other things. I personally have never tried any of those." Yeah, don't eat monitor lizards. That's basically eating a dinosaur. And we all know what happened in a certain village in China from eating that bat soup. And if you don't worry about it. David says, one of the channels I watch is just her husband recording her on his phone. Yeah. Yeah, you've got Papa One. You don't even need to buy a tripod. And as long as we're here, we might as well pick up some of this complimentary stew. Papa One says that raccoon was a nice size, around 30 pounds. He had already gotten to the coops once, and so it was his time to go. But I don't believe in killing an animal without eating him. Unless it's rats. Yeah, let's not have rat stew.
Hey there, pal. Can you help me? Could use some help finding my way home. Can't make heads or tails of where
Glennis says, we had a raccoon trying to kill our chickens. We can't shoot them in our neighborhood, so we electrified our coop.
you know if I'm heading in the right direction?
Sure. Just head over that way. You'll get home fine.
Thank you, mister. Certainly do appreciate it. Certainly do.
When we were remodeling our parents' house, we had to fumigate it because there were like termites in the woodwork. So the whole house had to be tented like in Breaking Bad. But before they did that, the state had to send out an inspector to like make sure some bird wasn't nesting there. The kukuhana I don't know what kind of bird it was, but it was like they were worried about some bird that was like that was endangered, that would nest up in the rafters, and so they had to like do an inspection. And if that bird was there, they legally could not fumigate the house. So I was talking, unfortunately that bird wasn't there, and I was talking to the pesticide guy, and I was saying, what do you guys do if that bird is there? And so he just laughed. He just kind of looked at me and says, well, we're not allowed to remove the nest. Because they want it, it was like, it cost like $5,000. Of course they want to, make their money. They're a business. And it's just a stupid bird, but so that's what you do. Mama One says, that makes sense. Papa One is always lurking in the kitchen, wanting a taste. Might as well make him work. Yeah, see, you got a built-in cameraman. It'll be a good hobby for him, too. He'll start, like, working on angles and getting, just the, figuring out framing and stuff. Glinda says, they didn't like that, but they don't bother our chickens anymore. The electrified fence. Papa One says, opossums and raccoons are the worst when it comes to bird livestock. They eat chickens and ducks and even my rabbits sometimes. We don't have them as much livestock as we used to, but we do keep ducks and rabbits. And Papa One continues, and chickens. We had a pig, but he bit the bullet this spring. Good pork chops, though. Well, Arthur does love his pork chops. Serena says, love the weather in this game. Technically, I prefer filming during sunlight.
I got no money to give you, but I think I might got something even better. Well, some drunk's been hoarding his money in this little place south of Rhodes down by the river. A lot of money, very drunk. At least that's what they say.
Oh, yeah? Why'd I be interested in that, huh?
I don't know, just a hunch. Up to you, friend.
Mama One, I just subscribed to your channel. So I'm ready for your cooking video. $15 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Appreciate you being here. Happy Friday. On Fridays, we free roam. Tonight, with the liver chestnut Hungarian half-bred, which is impossible to get without mods. What's that about? Mama One says, thanks, Super Antonio. Thank you, Mama One. And Serena says, I already did a while sub to Mama One. Yeah, well, we're ready. Papa One says, the one reason we feed our farm dogs leftovers is the quality of dog foods these days. I agree. I know several people still to this day, including Amish, who when a horse dies, they just call someone who buys the... And Papa One is to be continued, but I know what he's going to say. I've had a horse in France. It's called cheval. But it was a cheval, you know, it was basically a hamburger. It just tasted like a really expensive hamburger. Someone who buys the body, Papa One continues, and then makes dog food out of it. My dad never allowed us to do that. We buried or cremated our horses when they died. Well, horses occupy a special place in your heart. They're a lot like dogs that way. The bond we share. And Mama One says, thank you, Serena. Just doing a little hunting, collecting our satchel. Serena, have you had your afternoon tea yet? And are you feeling better? I hope you've recovered. Serena says, I sub to Papa One as well. Looking for our 3-star deers. We need 7 of those. Serena says, no, haven't had anything yet. Still sick. My grandma is in the hospital. And she probably got sick from the hospital. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word, Serena. Papa One says, I will say watching Arthur ride all those beautiful horses makes me miss my riding days. Makes me want to put spurs on and go flying around the farm. I do miss my horses. I will love horses till I die. I know how you feel, Papa One. I love the horses in this game, as you very well know. Mama One says, is Sadie well tonight? Yes, she's tired. She had a little bit of a confrontation with a homeless gentleman that I told earlier. Here she is. Say hi to Mama One. There was this gentleman, like, just rambling. He was not a threat. He didn't even see us, I don't think, but he was just cursing as on our morning walk, and she saw him as a threat and was like, I always keep her by my side, and then I let her, like, you know, explore and lead out. So I'll like let the leash lead out, but I'll always keep her by my side, especially if we're like walking by someone. So he's like rambling and twitching as he walks up to us. And she's really wanting to get in front of me, and I'm keeping her by my side. And as he passes, and he's saying "S my emperor effing D" at the top of his lungs at 8 in the morning. Except he's not censoring himself. Hey, get back here! Come back! And she growled, but it was like. It was such a low, deep growl that I didn't like hear it as much as feel it. And, and her eyes are back and her tail's down and her shoulders are up. And, just body language. She's in attack mode. But this growl was just like, and that was a completely new growl for me. But as soon as he passed and the threat passed, she like turned into a dog again. But it was fascinating to see. 16 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Who's here? Rage 10 says, hi, everyone. Greetings, Rage. Shout out to the Philippines. Mama One says, I wish Boadicea was available in the game. It's either Boadicea or Boadicea. Those are the pronunciations. Hosea calls her Boadicea, and Arthur calls her Boadicea. But I believe Boadicea is that's what they call her in the UK. But Boadicea may be the Romanized version of Boadicea. The Latin version. She's licking off the sunscreen. What's that about? She loves sunscreen. Because she knows when I like whip out the sunscreen that I'm going out, and so there's like a better than 50% chance that we're going out. Hey, get back up here. Hop, hop. 17 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Appreciate you being here. The co-host is not wanting to be on camera right now. What's that about? But we can bribe her with some potent canine treats. Serena says both sounds good for Boadicea. Look how rapt her attention is. She's tired. She had a long day. Oh, Mama One, we met an actual no, I'm blanking on the name. Oh, we met an actual Jack Russell Terrier. So cute. And smart, but tiny, like a quarter of Sadie's size. David says, hit that like button, fellers. Yes, 16 viewers in the chat. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you. And do like and subscribe for daily Red Dead Redemption 2 content. Mama One says, do you live in an apartment? If so, does Sadie bark constantly if she hears something? We do live in an apartment. She does not bark constantly. She doesn't bark much at all. And, she is a rescue. And unfortunately, she had a pretty bad puppyhood. And someone taught her really hard not to bark. Because she's very quiet, and she won't, it's like she doesn't want to bark, and it makes me sad. But she'll bark sometimes. It's like when we get an Amazon package, if they leave it at the door, she's fine. She'll just kind of like ear up and and alert me that we have a package. However, if they open the screen door, that's a problem for her, and she will bark at that. However, again, if somebody knocks on the door, then she's like really excited and like running up because obviously this is a new friend that wants to come visit us. Serena says, yes, everyone, hit that like button. I always like before the videos start. I really appreciate your likes, Serena. Mom One says, I miss my B-Dog. He was a right-hand man on the farm. My son named him B-Dog, which stood for Boss Dogs. And Serena says, that makes me sad to hear that, Antonio. Poor Sadie. Yes, every now and then she'll have nightmares. It's really sad. She'll like whimper in her sleep. And I just, you know, you're not supposed to wake a sleeping dog, but I'll just kind of pet her and just like try to reassure her that she is loved and safe and she never has to worry about that ever again. And don't even think about it. But sometimes she does. Yeah. She was rescued from a very bad place where it's another one of those words I don't think I can say on the channel. But it's a place where you that got raided by both the police and the SPCA, where you bet on dogs that are forced to do bad things. And she, her mother was one of those dogs. So pretty much, she was born into hell. And but she got rescued, and my auntie adopted her, but she was far too active for my auntie, and she gave her to me. And I was happy to take her. Completely changed my life. Papa One says, my service lab will emit a low growl when we are out. Drake was a rescue too, and he had a messed up childhood. Rescued from a hoarding situation. He emits a low growl if someone comes up behind me. Yeah, it was a really low growl. I'd never heard it before. It was very primordial to me. You know, and it's like I felt it more than heard it. And to me, it took me back to the caves. You know, like it just seemed like a very wolf-like thing to do. Herandro says, it reminded me of D-Dog from Metal Gear 5. Let's look up D-Dog in Metal. D-Dog. Oh yeah, I know that dog. The one with only one eye. Yeah, he's cool. Papa One says, someone coming from behind me is a big trigger for my PTSD. I can't stand that. It makes me think I'm going to get shot again because I was shot in the back of the head. Drake is not supposed to growl, but I don't care. Yeah, I say all the time that, you know, it's like having a dog. No one will ever sneak up behind you again. It's like you never have to worry about that. You have eyes in the back of your head. And especially, you know, it's like, especially if I were a woman living alone in the city, I'd want a dog. And not a small yappy dog, you know, an actual dog. One that can, you know, one that can protect you, or at least give the illusion that they can protect you, and at the very least alert you if someone's behind you. Because she does that all the time. She'll like turn around and then I turn around. And it's never a threat. Knock on wood. But also, for me personally, you know, I walk with confidence. You know, it's like, you know, head up, chest out, shoulders back. You know, it's like I project confidence and strength in my body language. Partly from martial arts training, but partly, and also, I just, you know, I made more of an effort when I first got her because I wanted her to have confidence and strength. And whatever you're feeling will travel down the leash. So that, you know, but yeah, I attribute that just to like, you know, all the martial arts and boxing I did throughout my life. You know, you just move with a, what I call a body confidence. Papa One says, Mama One has always been an angel when it comes to my PTSD. My dad had PTSD from World War II. His was not as severe as mine, but he had to be the last to go up the stairs. Interesting. Papa One. And I don't know why we're seeing this again. Getting a little bit extra tonight. 16 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. appreciate you being here.
Well, some drunk's been hoarding his money.
Yeah, we got about a little bit,
Roads down by the river.
maybe 20 minutes, 20 more minutes to go. But with the liver chestnut Hungarian half-bred.
Just a hunch. Up to you, friend.
I never get that gold bar, that gold nugget in the tree. I just like that tree. I wonder if we're going to get it now. We should get it for a short. For the new players. Papa One says, no one could follow behind him up the stairs except for me and Mama One. My dad was in a German town liberating it, and he went up the stairs to clear out the Germans. Well, one German came up. Wow. And it just stays with you for the rest of your life. Papa One continues the stairs and shot him in the side. He then promptly had to fight him to the death as the German jumped him. Well, they were the greatest generation, and they leveled up America. America became a superpower after World War II. And because of World War II. And it's interesting to this day what an effect it had on our lives even now. It totally reshaped the map. It reshaped politics. We're still, to this day, we're still feeling the effects of that war. So yeah, Sunday, maybe Salem witch trials, maybe the Donner Party, maybe missing 411. I'm not sure right now. However, the Saturday horse show will be the bronze Turkoman, Cerberus, who was very good to the channel. And should be pretty good for the Saturday horse show. Papa One says, my dad also took a bayonet to the kidneys while saving a young French girl from the Waffen-SS. They were helping civilians clear out to safety when an SS squad attacked. Wow. That's crazy. But you keep his memory alive, Papa One, by telling these stories. And no worries, that 3-star deer is only sleeping. Papa One says a German officer went to sleep my dad. I don't know if I can say that word, Papa One, who was carrying a little French girl. My dad simply turned around and took the bayonet in the kidneys twice. His friend then PewDiePie'd the SS officer in the head. Yeah, I've got to be careful what I say The algorithm is always listening. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but there are certain like keywords and phrases that I'm not allowed to say that the algorithm will automatically interpret as a threat to me or to people in the chat. And then bang, the stream gets demonetized. And we need the pennies. We really do. Pennies add up. Sadie moved back to the balcony. And Arthur does love his pork chops. Speaking of pennies, 17 viewers in the chat. Really appreciate if you would follow me on Twitter at red superantonio. If we get to 500 subs, we can monetize on Twitter. And once again, it's a very easy way to support the channel at no additional cost to you. I'm a little more political on Twitter, and mostly I just post memes. Serena, I'll talk about that offline. Papa One says, I miss my dad. I'm 75 and I admit I miss him every day. Me and Mama One talk of him every day. Our lives were so connected. I can honestly say there wasn't a day I didn't talk to my dad. That's a great feeling. I wish I could say that. Papa One says, I apologize. No, you'd never have to apologize, Papa One. I just, I have to get better at like, I read things automatically and I have to get better at like censoring myself. It's not your fault. It's my fault. And also it's my responsibility. You can say whatever you want. And in theory, I should be able to say whatever I want, but that's just not how it works. But it's a little easier on Twitter. Sabrina says, I get confused of what to say or write because of YouTube. Yeah, it changes, it's like, it changes all the time, Serena. They like keep updating their rules. Cloudy's here. Cloudy says, howdy, y'all. But basically, if you have any questions, you can like send me an email or a message on PS4, and we can talk about it there. Or we can talk about it on Twitter, where you can pretty much say anything you want. Serena says, hi, Cloudy. Yeah, greetings, Cloudy. Happy Friday. On Fridays, we free roam. Papa One says, I wouldn't have answered my dad's phone calls. He would have just drove over to where I was and yelled at me to answer his phone call and go right back home. And Rage 10 says, where are you playing, Super Antonio? Glennis says, hi, Cloudy. Rage, we're in West Elizabeth. Are we in West Elizabeth? We're in New Hanover. You have to know where we are. We're so close to Horseshoe Overlook. Mom One says, I get certain words not being popular. Some of it's ridiculous. I think all of it's ridiculous. I think you should be able to say anything you want, but, you're only allowed to have one opinion on YouTube. Serena says, I was watching GTA Online video yesterday. I hear the music, the radio, when I upload YouTube mutes it for me. Oh, wow. Yeah, well, That makes sense. They don't have the licensing fees for some of the music, I guess. Oh, Rage says, no, I meant what console. Oh, okay, we're on PS4. Team PS4. See? PlayStation.
Hey, you're okay, girl.
What are you playing on? Miko says, I miss my dad too. He's in the US. He's also getting old now. Yeah, you only get one dad. Mama One says, do you and Sadie live in the nice part of San Denis with the mayor and Angelo? Or do you live in Shady Belle? No, we live in the nice part. We have we can kind of see the Lannahechee from the balcony. I mean, you got to raise up, but you get a nice breeze from it. But yeah, we're in like downtown San Denis. Kind of close to the hotel. Cloudy says, Super Antonio, you should play Red Dead 2 GeoGuessr to test your knowledge about the landmarks. Interesting. And Papa One says, I'm excited for the Dark Bay Turkoman show, Saturday show. I adore that horse. Well, it's coming, Papa One. Rage 10 says, any thoughts on buying a PS5 Super Antonio? I mean, during the pandemic, I really wanted one, obviously. And, you know, it's like because we could have done unboxing videos. But, you know, like there really isn't any game, any PS5 exclusive game that I want to play. I like the fast loading times. This game gets upscaled to 4K on PS5, and it would be nice to make videos in 4K, even though it would take hours to upload that, and in hours again to render it. You know, it's like, I mean, that's one thing you don't know about YouTube is like, you know, it takes like a certain amount of time depending on your bandwidth to upload a video, depending on the length of the video, of course. And then YouTube has to render it, and that like pretty much will double your waiting time. What's that about? And rendering to 4K, that like, well, that's even longer for YouTube. But yeah, at some point I want to get one, but it's not really a priority right now. Now that they're readily available. But there's nothing really I want to play on PS5 that I can't get on PS4. Papa One says, Miko, my friend, you only get one father, and I suggest you make every minute count. I would do anything to hang out with my dad one more time, for him to see his grandson, to ride and break horses with him. And Cloudy says you should save up lots of money and buy a PC. Yeah, you and my nephew, Cloudy. My nephew is a PC gamer, and he's always like, wanting me to like join Team PC. And I started adding the channel members to the end of the live streams. Shout out to the channel members. Herandro says, aren't they going to release a PS5 Pro soon? Yes, they are. And also a PS5 Slim. And I do like the Slims. But I'd get a PS5 Slim if it has like, if it's non-digital, you know, if it has the DVD-ROM. It might be a Blu-ray. Might be 4K Blu-ray. I don't know. I should look that up. I do want a 4K Blu-ray player. And Papa One says to drink with him, to hear him bitch about the rising cost of his non-filtered cigarettes. I would do anything to go back to when my son was barely 2 and have my dad walk around on the farm with him. He called my son his best friend. So Miko, please spend time with your dad. Take it from an old man. Enjoy these moments in time. Glennis says, have a good evening. Glennis, you have a good evening. I appreciate you being here. Shout out to the mods. Come back. I'm talking to Sadie. Mama 1, Papa 1, Serena, O-Dog, David, and David's lovely wife, Christina. Hup, up. Say goodbye to the chat. Thank you, friends, for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you, Miko, Cloudy, Rage. We shall return tomorrow night with the Saturday Horse Show. Follow me on Twitter at Red Superantonio. Thank you so much for being here.